KHTS. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time.
Yes, it's time once again for our, well, usually it's a bi-weekly chit-chat. Of course, with the 4th of July holiday, we all kind of had some time off. But Dr. Jaimie Ronchetto from Cinema Veterinary Center, located on Cinema Drive in beautiful downtown Valencia, and now my veterinarian with all three of my doggies. Good morning.
Good morning.
And did you have a good 4th of July?
I did.
Well, that's great.
Yes, thanks.
I know that dogs kind of go can go a little nuts with that, and I know we didn't get the chance to talk about that, but those are the things that sometimes, hopefully, everyone's recovered and back to normal. But I didn't see too many reports of runaways or anything, but always kind of an interesting time. Also, I want to thank you, because I know we've been talking for years about rattlesnake venom protections and the vaccines, and now that we live kind of quasi in the country, even though it's only 5 minutes away in Placer Vita Canyon, you set up all of our dogs with their rattlesnake vaccine just in case. So thank you for that. But I want to talk about, because it's the summertime and it's kind of a weird dry season. Sometimes in this type of weather, I mean, we get skin issues, and especially when it's seasonal, but also dogs and cats do as well, right?
Absolutely. And we're actually seeing a lot of that right now, given the extreme heat that we've had. It's not, certainly we experience heat in the summer, but this is not typical for us. And especially the dogs that we've been seeing are kind of suffering from that. Just as you may be having kind of drier skin or changes with your skin, we're seeing a lot of excessive shedding. A lot of dogs just blowing their coat, all of that undercoat's coming out just kind of nonstop, and a lot of dry skin too. You see a lot of kind of dandruffy, flaky skin, and that has to do with not only the weather, but certainly with this type of weather comes allergies too. Different things are growing and blowing their pollen around, and they can certainly be affected by that just like we can. So
that sort of situation can cause, of course, really discomfort in your dogs, and it could even become more serious. I know I've seen pets, not my own, thank goodness, but others who have had even like lesions and what can end up happening with other types of scabs and things on their skin if it's not really looked at. Now, what is it that we can do? First of all, if you're seeing excessive shedding, right? So that's something you got to kind of keep an eye out. Now, we know usually if we've had our dogs for any length of time, we know their normal shedding thing, and especially if it's a thicker coat, that sometimes happens. I mean, I used to have a German Shepherd that once the Santa Ana winds came up in the springtime, we had hair all over our backyard because it would just kind of naturally come off.
Yeah.
But that's just shedding the winter coat. But we're talking now about something that's not a normal shedding situation, right?
Right. Absolutely. So obviously, like you said, all dogs shed. Some dogs at this time of year are shedding just way more than they normally would. We've even seen some that are starting to have thinning hair in certain areas because they are shedding so much, or perhaps they're itching. If their skin is dry, they start scratching, chewing, licking, and they sort of perpetuate that problem. And that can certainly result in skin lesions. Like you said, we call them hot spots, the sort of moist, red, inflamed lesions, or the more crusty, sort of scabbing, generalized lesions that we see. And both of those can be bacterial in nature at that point if they've sort of traumatized their skin enough to cause that to happen. So then we need to treat them with antibiotics to help them get over that.
So what else? Are there like lotions or anything? Are there home remedies, or should we always rely on our veterinarian to check that out once it gets to that point?
I mean, in a pinch, you can certainly use Neosporin on any topical wounds and just try to avoid them licking it off.
Good luck with that.
We do have other ointments and lotions that we use that are soothing in addition to antibiotics that we may use. I am a big fan of omega-3 fatty acids just as a general supplement to use every day in our pets, and I think that really helps the condition of their skin and their coat, so that over time, if we're using that consistently, it helps to decrease the amount of shedding that we see, and helps the condition of their skin so we don't see as much of the dry, flaky.
So as just an ongoing preventive measure, omega-3 fatty acids. But of course, when it gets to that point, especially if things are starting to look infected or they're not getting better, take them to your
Right.
local veterinarian at Cinema Veterinary Center. There we go. So that is the thing there. So, I mean, stay away from things like don't try to put, don't try to Vaseline them up or anything like that. Don't use any, let's dump the sunscreen on them or anything like that. So,
Right.
okay.
No, nothing like that.
So we want to make sure that we're not, that's why when I say home remedies, that's what I'm saying. Stay away from that stuff and just do the preventive maintenance. And of course, consult your veterinarian when there are certain issues like that. So that's really important, especially in the summertime. Although skin conditions can happen all year long, but this seems to be the big time of year because they get so uncomfortable.
Right.
Poor little
Absolutely.
things. And also grooming your dog regularly.
Grooming regularly definitely helps, yeah.
And or cat too, but dogs seems to really have the
Sure.
more issues. And I don't know which ones like grooming better, dogs or cats. But yeah, and if you do it regularly, it kind of turns into a bonding thing. I've realized that. So
Absolutely. It's very social for them.
yeah, so keep that in mind. Cinema Veterinary Center, again, located on Cinema Drive between Valencia Boulevard and Bouquet Canyon. I think we're at Bouquet at that point.
Right.
Very easy to find. And cinemavet.com, and the phone number is?
661-253-9300.
253-9300. And again, she's my veterinarian. So you can trust it. You can trust me, but and good stuff. I mean, the dogs seem to be happy when they go there. They don't seem to like want to leave right away or anything like that. It's always
you.
good. And so, doctor, good luck and continued success. And we'll see you around.
Thank you so much.
You bet. 746.